All right. It's another episode of That Talking Thing. I'm Jason.
I'm Kim.
And yeah, we're the Colemans, and we talk about business and life every once in a while.
It's been a while since we did this,
Yeah.
and we have some new gear
Right.
set up. You might see that we're glowing blue
Yeah.
behind us.
I don't even know if the last episode we recorded in here, but we
did.
maybe didn't even have the like audio panels.
Yes, that was fun to put up because my
Yeah.
daughter had a very specific, our daughter
Yeah.
had a very specific opinion about where they'd go, and I think I let her win,
Yeah.
and I think that's okay.
It seems okay. And like
I've grown on it.
imperfect, but it doesn't matter to me. Like they're low.
Yeah, they were not
Yeah.
the most expensive foam you could purchase on Amazon. I think they were $20 for 12 panels, and we bought 36.
It's pretty good.
So
It's in the description.
mhm.
Should we put
Oh,
affiliate link?
okay.
No,
There you
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
That's what YouTube people do.
Yeah, I saw some of those panels were like crazy expensive. I'm like, how are these better? I guess it's like the material, maybe.
Yeah, denser. These are
Yeah.
pretty squishy.
Yeah,
Maybe they leach poisonous chemicals
I
into
think-
us and they're still.
they don't smell anymore. They smelled for a
They
bit.
did. I
Like
think if you get close, they still smell.
Oh, okay. I don't smell it now.
Stay back.
Good. And the new microphone,
Yes, this was a recommendation. We have the Yeti,
right?
which is a large mic.
Mhm.
I found it too large for myself. I thought it was like disproportionately large
and
to me.
I
I'm
got-
trying to get there.
I get a
but-
comment on every phone call about my podcast mic or like my big obnoxious mic. It's kind of like annoying.
So someone recommended this to us. This is the Apogee Hype mic. That it's good for travel. That you can package it up into a small
Yeah.
box that we put
box.
somewhere. So you could throw it in your suitcase and
Cool.
take it to an event to record man on the street kind of content, which would be good.
And we got this set up,
That
like the camera and the mic, and maybe we'll even buy a laptop to be like the podcast laptop.
it is a bit of a
Yeah.
process when you move.
You have to plug
like,
everything in and make
yeah.
sure it's still hooked up.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's
Not a
silly to
large
just buy a new
thing.
laptop but I don't know.
There's a
If-
concept that we'll be recording more if
Yeah.
the barriers to entry are
We should
lower.
set a goal. Like, hey, when we get to season 3, we buy a new laptop for the
Okay.
podcast. Okay. Because it's fun having gear. It's kind of fun.
I hope that it makes you record more. We're giving
Yeah.
you more content work like
Okay.
this.
I wrote
The
some
plugin.
scripts for the 1-minute videos
Yeah.
we're doing on YouTube. So those will be fun. Yeah. One thing we were going to talk about was a programming
Yes.
thing. We're working on our courses plugin for Paid Memberships Pro. Hopefully it's out before this podcast comes out because we want to release it anytime soon.
Yeah.
And it is going to be a plugin for WordPress. This will get technical. Mom, you can skip ahead of this. But it'll be a plugin to work with Paid Memberships Pro to integrate with other LMS systems like LearnDash and Lifter and others eventually. But also out of the box, we said, hey, let's do like the bare bones. I want a course. I just want like a custom post type called course with lessons underneath it and tracking progress. And that's it. So we kind of build that out of the box because a lot of people come to us and say, they're like, I want courses. And I don't even think they need this courses plugin we're building. I'm like, do you know how to make print the PDF? Do you
Yeah.
have PowerPoint? Like just, make some content and let them download it. Oftentimes it's good enough for your course, but some people want more structure and it helps. And so we give them a little bit of structure. Eventually, they
Yeah.
might need all the bells and whistles, quizzes, certificates, and stuff that the other LMSs use. Anyway, we were thinking what was happening in development was when we were handing it off to people, we had requirements and people were checking them, but sometimes it's just like, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And like,
It's hard when
wish
you're
we had a
building
widget.
something to keep it small
Yeah.
and say, this is the extent of features that we want this lightweight version, this basic version to cover, because you're looking at other course plugins and you're looking at their features.
Yeah.
And you're feeling like, oh, that would be
Yeah.
good to add. We should extend in this way. We should
It feels
include
obvious.
these things.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
some of the things that came up, I brought these up to you yesterday because it's getting close to release and there's some unfinished front end pieces of it.
Yeah.
So looking at those, what do we pull out? What do we fix enough to be V1 ready?
Yeah.
And those relate to like how do people show the courses they're enrolled in
Right.
a simple way that,
Like my courses.
yes. And is there a need for a fancier layout version of all of the
Courses
courses
archive.
available
Yeah.
in that membership site?
So maybe we can go in reverse order there. Like, do
Okay.
we need a page that's like, here's a list of all the courses on this website?
So the reason I would advocate for that is because I know that it's a CPT. So in your theme, your theme will have a default layout for any
Yeah.
fallback
Just
post type archive.
titles and excerpts layered on top of
Yeah.
each other.
But I think some themes go deeper and like limit it to post type. It might be a 404.
Mm.
It might be completely unstyled. It might be very
What's that?
unpredictable what
Random CPT, we won't get like just a default archive.php template.
we will, but if the theme styles archive.php in a very special way and expects
Oh,
a lot of things that
thinks it's
our
post
post type
categories.
may or may not
Oh,
have.
okay.
I
We
think,
have our own
okay,
theme.
we need to test it
Which
with a
one?
few of the
Okay,
most popular
yeah.
themes. So we run it
But I also
through.
thought like people could build it themselves. Like if you have one
Yeah.
course, like you just link to the course like any way you want. You don't need like a fancy view. If you have 2 or 3 courses, you still can just build a page. Now, if you're like, oh, okay, I'm rebuilding, you know, is lynda.com even a thing? They got bought by LinkedIn.
Yeah.
You're rebuilding Udemy on WordPress and you're like, it's going to have 50 courses across 10 categories. And you're like, oh, okay. With that much content, you're like, I can think of like a cool way to organize it into thumbnails and things.
We face this issue a lot where we want to be hands off. We want to let the theme do it.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is that .org ticket the other day.
Yeah. There was,
And you're not the front end person, I am. So then those feedback come to me and I'm like, ugh.
okay. I just, I can't remember, like there was it wasn't a review, it was a support
It
ticket.
was a support ticket.
And it said, hey, I just installed your membership plugin, but the checkout page is really ugly. Can you give me
I think they were very complimentary
too.
too. They began with,
Oh, really?
this is a great plugin. I'm
Yeah.
very much enjoying it. But sadly, the checkout page is very ugly.
That's what they said. It's ugly. And I was like, Kim, do you want to take this ticket? Because you got to break it to them. Like we don't really style the checkout page. It's styled however your theme is styling forms. So like, I hate to break it to you, dude, but you have an ugly theme. And it was an ugly theme. Like his menu and headers were like different fonts and it was like
Everything
different
else
sizes.
was
That was a
ugly.
bad theme to begin with. So like if you know, garbage in, garbage out. Yeah. So it was kind of like, oof, like,
Yeah.
what were we talking about? Oh, like that's a case where that's a difficulty we have. I think we talked about before too, where we want to allow your theme styles to be applied to our checkout page. Like you picked the theme that had really good fonts and headers and colors and spacing and typography. Like let's, use what your theme is.
Honor it.
But if you have a crappy theme or the theme isn't that strong about, or just somehow it conflicts, the checkout page looks weird. That's one case.
Yeah.
So the same thing could happen with a list of courses.
I'm going to test it with some popular themes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to hand build one with some core blocks in the block editor. There is a post type archive kind of category masonry grid.
Okay.
I'm going to try to see if custom post types register in that. And if they do, can that be used to create a landing page? We don't show any links to the all course archive anywhere on front end course pages. We don't say back to all courses or view all course options anywhere.
No.
So we aren't forcing the default archive view anywhere. So if people want to create a page at /courses,
when you're in the course, you're in the course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, your theme.
However they navigate to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the answer.
Eliminate that content.
We don't need to make a page and kind of get how do they phrase it? Like theme should be opinionated. We don't have to build a page and get opinionated. We can build a courses block, shortcode and widget, and people can build a page and drop the block, and that's our courses page.
Yeah.
And it does make sense to have a block both to work on a post because you might just want to easily drop in like a list of courses, maybe courses per category, if that's an option on the block. Or eventually when you have full site editing, you kind of like,
what would you expect?
Yeah, you just want to put that block somewhere else. And for people who like to use shortcodes and widgets, let's kind of do the same thing. We can program it in a way where they're all kind of similar. They're just 3 different interfaces to drop in the same HTML we generate.
Yeah.
So if we have a good shortcode widget and block.
A block for a single course, not for a grid of them.
The support ticket will be like, hey, I can't find the all courses page. And we're like, we didn't ship one. Remember, it's trying to be lightweight. But if you just create a page called courses and drop in our block, it works.
Okay.
And we don't ever link back to
The
it.
shortcode will be for a single course or a separate shortcode for my courses output.
Yeah, I guess we want
and how
courses at my courses. So those would be 2 different blocks. I don't know if maybe we should get to, I don't know if if we just think in terms of blocks, and then we
Mhm.
think if the shortcode or the widget has to be different.
Okay.
Definitely the shortcode could just have the same property, like attributes are the same as the settings for the block. And widgets are different in WordPress. And they usually go in sidebars and maybe need to be designed like a little.
I might eliminate a widget altogether, but we'll
Okay.
see.
Yeah. And if
They're just going
it's
away.
funny, like if we wait, like you'll have blocks and sidebars pretty soon. That stuff's something that's out to test. We haven't done that.
No.
We should get on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we need all courses and my courses,
Okay.
right?
But we might want all courses
Start with a
to
short
allow a
'cause it's
single
easier
course.
maybe, and then we'll blockify it.
Can all courses accept an idea of a single course to show? Did we keep course taxonomy?
Maybe. We have categories.
Okay. Then that would be a
So you could show a category.
setting of the course
Yeah, I thought that'd be cool.
block.
But if you want to show a single course, I don't even know what that is. That's just showing the title and description for one post. Isn't there some other kind of block that does that?
No.
That is the funny thing. Like we have like our checkout button
Mm-hmm.
to link to the checkout page. And it's like, you just copy the URL and paste it in a button or link. But it does help people to like, I want to add a block that's like a link to the level,
Yeah.
Like people think that way. I'm going to add a block that's a
People
link
think
to the
that way.
course. And you're like, create a link and put the link in, But
Yeah.
there's already so much bloat in the block.
We're developers. We would just hand code HTML in the custom HTML block.
Yeah.
That's what I do mostly. I use WordPress as
Yeah,
my
actually.
IDE. So people
Categories
who
make
build
sense to
with
me.
builders think about inserting and dropping blocks.
A block for a single course doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
But maybe though, I guess it's.
You wrote a blog post all about your course. And you want to drop in like a dynamic thing that's like, go take the course now. And it's a featured image, a title,
and
a number of lessons
link in there and everything. Yeah.
It's kind of sexy.
Yeah. It's like a link to but you could create a checkout button for the level. Cause with the base, this is PMPro. So there's a level attached to the course and you're like, sign up for my level. Then you get the course. And we got to think about that.
What would be cool about a dynamic single course block was that if you already had access, it would just take you to the course.
Yeah.
Or it would show you
I'm going to take
buy me.
We want that single course. All right. So definitely all courses. And then my courses.
All courses has a category filter.
Yeah.
I don't know if my courses needs a category filter.
No.
What are you in like 900 courses and you want to just view?
It's just a list of links.
Okay.
Right. And probably.
Really just text links.
And maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Probably just titles.
One day I'm going to build a really opinionated front-endly designed thing for us. I promise, world. Here now.
When we host
we build directories.
Yeah.
I think when we do directories, we're going to make directories really cool.
So I think we should mock these up and see how they feel. And then we'll get and start with shortcodes first, then blockify them, and then think if we need a widget or not.
Use case for all courses is you want to make a prettier archive page than just the post type archive. Use case for my courses is to drop onto your account page, and a single course is to drop into maybe a blog post, maybe a landing page.
Yeah.
That you're selling it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's blocks that like you give it a CPT and it just shows stuff. So yeah, people, I don't know. Yeah. Themes that are.
And we have to test ours with those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right. We talked about that. We figured some things out.
This is all day, every day in our life.
And this was
literally all day. We have conversations exactly like this.
This is the thing. Oh.
And we rapidly get through them.
Yeah.
And then we move along.
And the way to start was, remember, like, I had like the requirements for like the first version.
Yeah.
And I was like, we don't even need this. But then through the course of programming it, someone's like, well, of course you want a shortcode. And we're like, oh, and I forgot it was even there. You're like, remember there's a shortcode.
I think that I was involved in the decision to grow the.
So you were okay. Okay.
Sometimes we do things but
that
we don't notice.
Because it is like, you add stuff, it takes longer, but it's okay.
It does.
All right. Vaccines is on our list here to talk about.
You had both before me.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Like barely side effects. I was wiped out.
Yeah. Second one hit you hard.
I had a fever for almost 2 days. I was exhausted.
Do we both?
I think it took me a week until,
Pfizer. Yeah.
Until I felt my full energy back. That's weird. I reacted.
Yeah, that's okay.
But good.
As we've been telling people, like, have a day, like, take a break. Who is it? Oh, Andrew Warner at Mixer G.
Mm-hmm.
got hit by it, and then he's like, "Oh, I just took off and slept." But he was like, I think he said something like he hasn't taken a day off to just lay in bed for a while, and it felt really nice. So he had like maybe it was a more mild
No
case.
one's been sick.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
like
that's the only reason some of us entrepreneurs
because I kept
take
telling
the
like people on the team were like, "I don't know if it'll hit me or not." I'm like, "Just take the day off. Like if
okay.
you're sick, then you're sick. If you're not, like whatever,
Just take a
relax
day
one
off.
day." Yeah, I don't know. But it's nice having like I got to go visit my dad.
Yeah.
Um, a couple weeks after.
Strange still with the kids.
Yeah, yeah, that is
If
the
they're
thing.
not
Yeah,
vaccinated, what do you do?
yeah. I was telling someone too, like even if I rationally feel that kids usually don't get it bad,
Mm-hmm.
um, we've been telling that like we've been inside for a year, telling them COVID's bad and people are
They're
gonna have it.
nervous.
And now it's like, I got my vaccine. We're gonna go out.
Throw you to the
Yeah.
wolves.
I was talking about how like when like it's kind of similar with ticks. We talked about like how ticks are bad. We're always doing tick checks. We take them off. Isaac did like a classroom project about ticks and Lyme disease, and then he had a tick on him at school.
Yeah.
All day. And when he got home, we were like, "Oh my God, you got a tick on your face." And he was like, "Oh my God." It was kind of funny, but sad at the same time. He's like, "I feel really tired. My dying. My dying." Like,
My
"You're
joints,
okay."
my joints.
Like, "You're okay. You're okay." Like, we'll get it off. It'll be fine.
And then we went to Tick Forest the other
Oh my God, the other
day.
day we got a lot of ticks. That's what was on my brain too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That trail was fun, but yeah, like a couple dozen ticks among us and the dogs.
It's too many.
We turned around and ran away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel
I think the
yes.
kids would very quickly get over all those fears when they began to have like outside house fun
Oh,
with
okay.
people
I guess
until we got
okay.
sick.
If they end up getting COVID because cases are still around, they're like getting lower. Like
Mm-hmm.
they would be almost traumatized by getting COVID, even if it didn't physically traumatize them. They'd be like, "Oh my God, I got COVID," and like scarred for life. Like my parents let me get COVID. I spent the whole year
To
inside.
interview
Then I
our
got
friends
sick.
whose kids have had it
Yeah,
and
maybe.
find out.
Yeah,
could
like
be
are
it.
they over it because it wasn't
Yeah.
so bad? Or
I think so.
I don't know. I mean, it's a little scary, but there's a lot of scary things. Like a small percentage of cases seems like kids, have long-term
Yeah.
effects or things. I don't know. Isaac could potentially get like 12-year-olds will get vaccines
soon.
soon. Maren's 9. But I mean, it's fun. Like we're hanging out with folks more. We're going to places. We're not wearing our masks when we're like at my sister-in-law, my in-law, my stepsister's house, stuff like that. It's fun.
Real life.
Back to normal, including making podcasts.
That's very normal for most people.
Is there anything else on your mind about vaccines?
I'm glad
If
it's
we get
over.
like a third one, are you gonna be
Yeah, we may
scared
have
because you
to.
get sick?
I think that I'll probably get more sick and I'll account for it.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten like the flu from the flu shot before. It's
Yeah.
pretty similar, but I guess it's worse the way you felt probably from a standard flu sickness.
When I need your help, I was so
It's pretty
uncomfortable.
bad.
I had to ask you for help. That's not
Yeah.
common.
I try to tell you that too. I think you think of that too. Like by the time that I'm like so sick that I'm telling you I can't get out of bed and I'm gonna stay in bed or like emasculating myself, you're like, it must be pretty bad because I don't know how you feel about me, but I fight through.
Do you think
like,
you do?
sickness. I feel like I do.
As much as a man can.
Yeah. I know.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
We
On the flip
appreciate
side
it.
of that, I'm trying. I'm not even that. I'm trying to like take more naps.
Yes.
I'm like, hey, my body's telling me to take a nap.
Listen to your
I
body.
deserve it.
Okay.
I'm a grown ass man.
I'm not going to be quiet
Make a lot of
just
money.
because
I
you're
can take
sleeping
a
and
couple
you're
hours off.
in the middle of the day.
No, I don't expect you to, but
Okay.
like, I guess, yeah. I don't know. I have to fight through it. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm like, but when I'm sick, it's I don't know. If for me to tell you I'm sick, I'm often like a little bit sick. I'm like, I don't even want you to know I'm sick because then I don't know. I just don't want
Seems like an unhealthy
think
thing in a
negatively of
real.
me. Yeah. What is the psychology of that?
Did you get sick on purpose?
I
No.
think, yeah.
You did?
No, oh, did I get sick on
No.
purpose? No,
Yeah.
no, just I don't know. Yeah, like I think I expect you to subconsciously to think less of me if I'm sick or whatever, or just baby me, and I'm like I'm okay. So it's like just don't even bother you with it. But if I'm just like, oh, I think
I'm like a
I'm
medicine.
sick and you should do.
You're
the
less
things I
medicine
do.
proponent than me.
Yeah,
Like I say, remember, take some Advil if you have a
I
headache.
always forget.
Yeah. Like, oh,
I drank coffee late at night. The other night,
that's nuts.
I had a headache, and I was like, "Is it a caffeine headache?" And I drank coffee at 7. It didn't really help the headache, but then I was up till 2, and I was like, "Why did I do that? That was the wrong move. I
Wrong
should have
move.
had one out of Advil, and probably would have
Yeah.
made my headache feel better, and I would have fallen asleep
Or
on time.
just drink a ton of water.
Drink more
something.
water. Yeah. Take deep breaths.
Okay.
Helps. I did like deep breath meditation in the morning. That felt great. And also the Zyrtec.
Oxygen.
It's allergies, and started taking allergy pills, and I'm not regular. I'm
No.
forgetting.
I think that those things work on being consistent.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
Wow. All right. Thanks, Doc.
This mug was from Travis and Otzi.
Hey, this one's from Marin. Somewhere.
They sometimes they call you Supreme Leader. I mean, I didn't have a name, so now I'm Boss Lady. But I don't know where they found this, but it's cute.
I like it. You want to talk about cohorts?
Yeah.
It's a fun one.
I had a note on my Todoist, brainstorm cohorts. I added it maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And I reached out to someone on Twitter who runs a cohort. I DM'd, like, would you ever want to brainstorm this with us as a platform? What are you using? Never heard back. So I was going to independently brainstorm it. And then there was
They were still on Twitter like, oh, cohorts, like, I'll do that. And I was like, well, reach out because our plugin doesn't do it like out of the box.
There was a conversation someone started on Twitter about the challenges of paid communities.
Should we say what a cohort is maybe for folks?
Sure. What do you define a cohort as?
Man, this is a good start. So the opposite of cohorts in the membership space is called an evergreen membership.
Okay.
Meaning it's always open. Anyone can enroll at any time. Like you sign up and then you pay monthly from when you sign up.
Yes.
And everyone is in one big membership altogether.
You enter at a point where conversations have already been happening.
Yeah.
Content has already been existed prior to when you join, and you may get access to a backlog of content, a backlog of conversation.
Yeah. That's the opposite. That's evergreen membership. That's what Paid Memberships Pro kind of was built for.
Mm-hmm.
And then cohorts is you sometimes only have like enrollment for a certain period of time. And then when everyone enrolls, they become a cohort. Everyone who signed up in January is January cohort, and they go through the membership together.
Yes.
And then maybe in February or however often you open it up or start your
new group of people come in. They start at the beginning. Your old group may be at stage 5. They may be at complete.
And it's a good way. I think it's funny. Like there's a group of people out there who like, they understand memberships as cohorts. Like that's their default.
Yes.
And evergreen is weird. They're like, eventually I'm going to make it evergreen, because it is like a good process where like, if you're starting a membership and you're kind of unsure about it, or you don't know all the pieces, you're like building the content on the fly. It's nice to like, oh, let me invite 10 people in who paid and do it really hands-on for those 10 people really well, build up the content, and then maybe have another cohort that's bigger or different. And eventually your content's so good, it can sell itself. So then it becomes evergreen. That's like a process I've seen.
I also think that when you've gone from like a one-on-one coaching environment to a one-to-many coaching, it's a way that you can still like be the point of contact and be the coach, but reach 10 people, 30 people in a group, and it's a little less costly to all those people than a one-on-one.
So $2,000 a month, and I'll coach you $200 a month, and you'll be in a group of 10.
Yeah. And they help each other learn and support you, take some burden off of you.
And that's really cool. You see them like, I think Stacking the Bricks, Alex Hillman and Amy Hoy does pretty well with their courses, where their graduates are like out and about and they know each other. I think they probably have a Slack room where they talk and like they're all like buddy. It's like graduating from a college class together or something.
Of course, but there's aspects of it that need interaction and community.
Yeah.
But it's only valuable when you're all at the same stage.
Yeah.
You know, if the end of it is giving away all the secrets, when you're at stage 5, those people don't know the secrets yet. So their conversations aren't jaded by them or influenced by them. You know? They come to their own.
Figure out how to technically do it.
I think a bad thing is when you use the cohort model to create like false scarcity. So it's actually not a cohort. It's actually not a community of people that you're all, hands in and working together. It's just, we have a limited number of seats, and then it's the same course content, no interaction.
Yeah. It doesn't. It possibly works.
Yeah.
You maybe could do the same thing with the discount, but like to like encourage people to sign up, because that is like a marketing thing. You want
by a certain date, the price goes up.
Give people
that's kind of events too.
But yeah, whenever like something in business is like you're faking it, doesn't feel good.
Yeah. Here's what I was thinking. How I would do cohorts. I would do multiple memberships per user.
Okay.
I would give everybody one membership level that's lifetime. That's the cohort group. And one membership level that's like a fixed period, and that's where they end up after they graduate,
Okay.
and that might or may not automatically renew. That could be quarterly, monthly, it could have a delay and start a month in, depending on how long your initial cohort
Your active
runs.
membership would be a separate level.
Yes,
That would expire 3 months when you're supposed to be through the course.
potentially.
And then you would always have your lifetime membership.
The cohort group you join with would be your lifetime,
Yeah.
and here's why.
Okay. Yeah.
I would use probably BB Press
Mhm.
and probably either a private Facebook group or a Slack group that I just manually add people
Mm.
to create those conversations.
Right.
Start a unique forum
Mhm.
just for the cohort group, and then close it to new replies, but give them historic access to it at the end of the cohort period. Because I was thinking about it. At the end of it, what are you left with? And if the conversations were run through like a forum on your site,
You could build a new forum for every
you
cohort.
could build a new forum for every cohort. You
Yeah.
could probably even create topics that auto post,
Mhm.
and it's a
Right.
clone, like a
That's
duplicate this,
Yeah.
and they auto post daily with
Yeah.
tasks, and it's led through that way.
I like that.
And then you can turn off a form to new replies, and it
Yeah.
just lives as history. So then the people would get access to that
Yeah.
after the fact. A lot of people get tricky with like number of people that can join. We have some recipes for that. So it'd be
Yeah.
like limiting the number of people.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have cheaper prices by certain dates, you should just edit it,
Right. Right. Yeah.
change the price
Yeah.
on that day, wake up
Yeah. We don't have to program that.
at 6 a.m. And probably just have separate landing pages for the cohorts and when they start and put the level
Mm.
only one and make that like a single page
That
checkout.
could be a separate plugin if people really like it to like decreasing or increasing the price over time. If you really, but yeah, just do it
I
yourself.
think it needs to be.
Yeah. Anyway,
At
I'm
least
sorry.
not if you were trying to just
Yeah.
quick and dirty launch this, right?
Yeah.
So
What was the last feature you just said?
create a separate landing page for each cohort
Okay.
so that you could like distinctly set the level that they check out for and have it right in line.
Yeah.
And then for the recurring membership, if you have that piece, you could tack it on right when they check out, or you could begin to market that to them at like
Yeah.
if it's a month long at the end of week 3. Start to market
Yeah.
to them the longer term
So you could,
enrollment.
so like the PMPro cohort plugin,
Mm-hmm.
potentially when you create a membership level, you could check a box like this is a cohort and
Okay.
it's a clone of this other level.
Okay.
Which
Create
is
a
a
level that's a
lifetime level.
template.
Yeah, a template. Yeah.
Okay.
So you'd say like, hey, this is create a cohort. Maybe it's like shows the levels and you say create cohort and it would create like it technically in the database would be a Paid Memberships Pro level.
Okay. Similar to the plan
Discount codes or plans. Yeah.
that
Oh,
Jared
yeah.
did that we did.
Similar to plans.
Okay.
Well, plans showed like, no, plans is different because there's one level and
Okay.
plans are like.
No, you
per
need to
level.
edit it separately.
I think it makes sense to
Else it'd
make
be,
it
like,
a separate
long.
level because you're going to want the granularity of,
Start date, end date,
yeah, because by
limit number of people.
default, all the add-ons and custom code that are out in the world are going to say like, if you're in the same level, you should all be able to see this.
They want the idea of the level to
And
be.
we don't want to have to update every single add-on and say there's this new thing called cohorts.
Yeah.
All the add-ons understand levels. So like we create a level and it's like that level is tagged as a cohort. So maybe it can clone some information from the main level.
Just on
Or people get both. Like they check out for the cohort, they also get the main level. And then
Yep.
you're like kind of, maybe not.
your evergreen membership is the main level.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels
But then it's a level and then,
straightforward.
okay. And then like create a page for the cohort. The forms, one thing I was thinking about is like people who run these, like they want to use Slack or Discord or Facebook or the next new thing,
Mm-hmm.
like all of the above. And it's like, you don't want to like say use BB Press and BB Press is going to replace Slack because it doesn't. It's not real time.
It's an option.
But maybe it could be BB Press or it could be something simpler that's posting those comments.
Mm-hmm.
And then do you put that back on the people to say, hey, like you create your discussion group in some other software and share the link? The first post to the cohort page that only the cohort can see is like, here's where we talk. Boom. I created a Slack for you. And we have a Slack plugin. It can add you to, can it forget like what it does. But
Private
yeah,
channels.
yeah, just some way to do it. We never did the Facebook one. It changed. Slack changed. Like
Can
it
we just
was,
do it manually?
yeah, just do it manually. But yeah, it's like, hey, but I feel like I'm on the other side of the conversation where I'm like,
You're
make it
trying to
minimal
make
and let
it.
them do it. I was like, but we do have eventually, like we do have a Discord plugin that will just like add people to the Discord and become a member. So you could you have to create the Discord channel and then you could just link it to the new cohort group and it would automatically do some things. But also it's okay to that's part of the beauty of the cohort actually is a lot of the manual stuff is easier.
Yeah.
Because you're like, enrollment is closed and now I'm going to take a
I'm
day.
not refunding anyone. I don't have to remove
Yeah.
anyone. I just
Yeah.
actually delete this at the end of it.
Yeah, there's you're not doing it every day. Like, new person signed up. I'll go into Facebook and add to the group. There's like, okay, it's closed. I'm going to add you all to the Facebook group.
You don't have to do it as they're signing up either. You can do that literally the day before. Export the list of email addresses, create the workspace, add all the people.
Okay.
But I would need to talk to people who run these because they might be using like Notion templates or something. So they need to like give you your unique access to that. They might be having a daily Zoom at a certain time frame.
But some way to like trip the content would be cool. So you can schedule content, whether it's PMPro posts or just posts or comments or something, the database structure we can figure out, but it's like stuff that gets posted on certain days to the main page on the site that the cohort goes to for the membership.
Every cohort needs
like
a unique
user
page that's like, tell me everything I need to know. What is the itinerary of this?
And it's where you can dump everything. And then,
don't we have a delay attribute? The membership shortcut has a delay attribute.
Yeah. I mean, you could do it with other tools. Yeah. It'd be kind of cool to, or series or whatever. Like, we could like, hey, also install PMPro series. And then you just create a series for the cohort. Like, cause, series or posts, the delay short code is a short code. So you could say, hey, this only shows up X days after you signed up. But I think we could do posts and categories. And because it's a membership level, like it would then we could make like shortcuts to say, create a post for this cohort. It automatically checks the category. So that only people in that category can see it. Or maybe it's pages and subpages or something. I don't know what makes more sense for them. But then if it's pages or posts, you can put them in a series, and have them come at a certain time. But we could even almost like facilitate that.
Maybe not even have to make unique ones per cohort because I guess you don't want them to lose access to it.
Oh, you want a template?
If it's a template, but if it's also like, if it doesn't change, it doesn't change.
Yeah.
You literally could create 50 pages and they're all sequential in your WordPress site. And I mean, if people want to go ahead, they want to go ahead. But you're just like, we're on day 5, guys. We're looking at day 5 page.
Oh, just embed the series in the cohort. This is the series for every. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But we call it like
unless there's actual conversation.
And then have.
But at the bottom, it's like now go to the Facebook group and have conversations about this if you want. If you have questions, they don't have to be archived on the site.
Yep. So we can find some people who.
So the reason that I want to run a cohort is because we were talking about like the how cohorts often have like tweet about what you just did or what you built, or this is like coding online, like what's Isaac doing? Code camp.
Right.
And they say, I just complete JavaScript coding class. People say, I just completed day 3 of Learn React.
That's a cool tactic. I see it working.
Yes.
And we should build that into our stuff. So I don't know if we have to, it could be built into the series too. Or
of course.
Marketing. Yeah, of course. It's kind of like when you're on day 5 of whatever, after you've done it, you give them like hey, clap yourself on the back for doing like a really good job.
Clap yourself on the back.
Yeah. And you've done a really good job and tell people about it, like, or like, we'd appreciate it if you like share this or like tell everyone, blah, blah, blah.
People like to brag about things like that.
That's good marketing.
Yes. But that could be done with a cohort for building a membership site or a niche membership site. Oh, I saw a conversation. People talked about how do you say that word? Niche.
Niche or niche?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is niche better now?
That's what everyone said. Niche.
Right. A niche is like a hole in the wall. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I say niche and I have to catch myself and say niche. And then they say it like I have like a weird face like niche.
Yes, everyone
admitting that I don't like
gross word to say. Sorry. Okay. But you could do a niche membership site like build your yoga studio membership site and everyone's in the same boat, sharing the same page.
Yeah. I thought
building competing membership sites.
We should have cohorts to help people build PMPro sites. I feel like that would be something we would do at some point.
Yeah.
And even like the day before WordCamp.
That's how we dog food.
So we could build our own cohort for launching, because some people need to be, not need to be like, they prefer to be kind of walk through
Yeah.
like, and like, or just be like, hey, this is the 2 days I'm building my membership, or the 1 week, or the
Yeah,
2
it has
weeks,
to
or
be
whatever
longer
it
than that.
is.
What's
Then
the
I
difference
really,
between a webinar and a cohort or a
yeah, is it like an hour a
conference and a
day
cohort?
for like 2 weeks or something, whatever we figure
Yeah.
out, like they like the structure.
Consumable, accountable,
Yeah.
something elseable.
Yeah. And then we can, if it's cohort, we can be like, hey, we know like this month, this week, or this week every month we are
Or we could map out a calendar and say, like, this month's fitness, next month's associations,
cool.
month after that is video, premium video, paid podcast sites, paid newsletter sites,
Fun.
subscription boxes, online event sites,
Yeah.
dating sites. That one I'm not doing. No thanks.
Yeah.
Fun. That's it. We're at the end of our
We got
topic.
some good stuff. Yeah.
I need to go buy pizza.
All right. So we're into pizza.
It's Friday, so it's pizza day.
Nice. Another That Talking podcast in the can.
It's to talk to.
Thanks, Mrs. Coleman.
See you the rest of our life.
All right.
Thanks. Bye.
See ya.